What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Generational Sports. Josh, I was fixing up the banner and stuff like that. We're on episode 31, baby. Can't believe it's been that long.
Yeah, 31 episodes I feel like we just started like last week or something. That's crazy, bro.
Bro, who would have thought? All because of a little stupid fantasy football league talking about Cam Newton, of all things, that we would end up doing this. The things to come. But what's going on, brother? How we doing?
Feeling good, man. Finally got the mic working, so hopefully it stays working from now on. But listen, Joe Biden, if you're watching, I saw you fall, man. That's what you get for not getting these stimuluses out, bro. Come on.
Yeah, listen, Joe, I'm gonna need mine as well, because if any of you watched the hard count, I believe I said it on, your boy dropped a little bit of money accidentally on 2 Xboxes, not 1 but 2. So I'm gonna need a stimmy to hit the bank account real soon, or else might be hard troubles for your boys out here. But whatever. All right. So before we get into everything, of course, you guys know what we have to do around here. We gotta pay the bills. So if you're into the betting world, make sure you go over to mybookie.ag and use code USN100 to double your first deposit up to $1,000. Baseball is around the corner next week. We got March Madness going on right now. Obviously, I've seen a whole lot of people betting on that. Some people not winning as much. I'm looking at my brother, but March Madness is out there. We still have the NBA. We still got NHL. There's fights basically every week, I'm pretty sure. So if you want to bet, make sure you go out there and do it. And this month, if you use our codes and screenshot it, you also get entered into our David Montgomery signed jersey giveaway. So that's just an extra little bonus for you guys. So make sure you go and check that out. Next up, we have RX Hemp. RX Hemp-USN saves you 10% on your entire order. They have the hot and cold CBD cream. So if you're a little sore from the gym, a little sore from just living life, as you know, life is tough sometimes. Life is definitely tough. As we got Skura in the chat right now. Yo, what's up? You know what, Skura? I'm not going to lie. This is the first year in a few years I haven't filled out a bracket. I did not do a bracket this year.
I feel like probably 95% of America's brackets were busted after day one. And
Bro,
if not day two.
I saw something that I think it was after the second day, there was 13 brackets.
The fact that there were 13 impresses me. I mean,
like, that's insane.
Like 2 12 seeds, a 13 seed, and a 15 seed.
Your bracket's horrible. You know what, Skura? You're not the only one. I see that you're watching over there on the YouTube side. And this is, just a little plug real quick. We have our own YouTube channel now, Generational Sports. So make sure you go over to YouTube, check it out, and hit the subscribe button. Turn on notifications if you can. So please go and subscribe to the Generational Sports YouTube page. We're obviously live streaming this through there. We're also going to be posting clips from each podcast. Josh is doing a wonderful job with that. We have a bunch of clips from the Wingo interview. Josh, I assume that we're going to post the clips and then eventually post the full thing. So,
yeah,
that's how it'll go. But make sure you go out and check that out. But back to the sponsors real quick. RX Hemp, like I said, if you're a little sore from life, go and check them out. RX Hemp-USN saves you 10%. Make sure you also go over to Teespring/stores/unwrapped. Go and check out the store. Everybody works very hard on their designs. Perry pumped out a few designs, at the beginning of this store. So USN has a bunch of merch. We have our merch at Gen Z Sports. So make sure you go and check that out. Put a little money in the pocket, so we don't got to rely on Mr. Joe's stimmies. Put a little money in the pocket. And then finally, make sure you go over to the Patreon.com/unwrapped sports, I believe it is. So for the $1 tier, you're just supporting us, saying that, you like the content. $5 tier, you get entered into a gift card giveaway, and you also get 10% off that store I was just talking about, and you get access to our Discord chat. So make sure you check that out. We talk about everything up in there, gaming, sports, life, basically anything you want. So make sure you check that out. And then finally, the $10 tier, you get everything I just said, except the 10% discount goes to 20, and you also get entered into that David Montgomery signed jersey giveaway, authenticated and all that. So for all you Bears fans out there, make sure you go and check that out as well. But that's the sponsors. Let's get into the show, and you guys know how we start the show off. A little who am I? It's Josh's turn this week. I feel like recently I've been doing all of the guessing, and I don't know why or how that happens. It's probably because I always come on the show and ask Josh if he has one, and he always says yes. So I just guess every week. But it's finally Josh's turn. I think he has a chance. Like, it's not the player's not very good in my eyes. Like looking at his stats, but
Calico
his name,
again.
no. But his name is very well known.
Nikhil Harry.
Ugh, please, I'll trade him for a bag of sunflower seeds. Ranch, though. Ranch sunflower seeds slap. All right. You ready, Josh?
Yep.
All right. After the first hint, obviously we start the timer. So, I am a running back. He was undrafted in the 2003 draft.
03. Okay.
All right, so he played for some weird teams. He played for the City Bandits, the Ring Fire. So, he bounced around, but he then played from 2006 to 2014 with the Buffalo Bills.
You said the City Bandits?
Yeah, bro, I don't even know who that is. That must be an Arena League team, bro. Has to be.
And then who did he play?
He played for the Bills from 06 to 2014. So he had a long career.
06 to 2014.
And then he finished his career off in 2015 with the Seahawks.
Oh, man.
He was the NFL all-purpose yards leader in 2009.
What? So, Bills and Seahawks in 09. Who's the running back for the Bills in 09? It's not CJ Spiller.
No, it is not.
It's not Fred Jackson. He didn't play for the Seahawks. Did he play for the Seahawks? Did he? Is it Fred Jackson?
It is Fred Jackson.
Okay, I didn't know if he played for the Seahawks.
Yes, sir.
Fred Jackson was a beast, man. He was a beast.
Bro, like, I thought he was a lot better than he actually was, though.
Really?
Like, for being in the NFL that long, he only had 5,746 rush yards.
What? Wow. I felt
he
like he had
40 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I guess, like, that's all right, but, like, only 5,700 yards, basically. Like, I definitely thought that he had more. And honestly, I thought that this was the player that played for the Patriots at the end of his career too. I can't think of the player. He was a running back too. I don't know who. Was it? Is Steven Jackson a player?
I'm thinking Steven Jackson was the Rams running back, the big dude.
Yeah, but I thought he like.
I think Steven Ridley.
He did play for the Patriots. I knew it.
Steven Jackson did.
Yes.
Wow.
2015.
I'm learning so many things right now. I didn't remember.
You know what? That's
Steven
what this
Jackson,
show's here
man.
for, bro.
That's
for educational purposes and entertainment.
Steven Jackson is one dude you just didn't want to tackle. Dude's like 6'4", like 280. You don't want to tackle him.
Yeah, I'm super good on that one. But let's get into the show right now. Obviously, started off in the NFL world, as you know. The NFL does a lot of good things for us because they make shows a lot easier because there's always something going on. It seems like, there was that little part where me and Josh were like, we don't know what to discuss anymore. But, the NFL just keeps on giving. So the Bears settle, I'll say, for Andy Dalton. They still have an all right roster. They retain Allen Robinson with the franchise tag. But is that window closed to, maybe try and compete for a Super Bowl?
I think this year and probably next year are the last two chances, because their defense the past 4 or 5 years has been really good with Khalil Mack and everybody else. But, they cut Kyle Fuller. Keem Hicks is getting older. Roquan Smith is going to keep getting better. He's going to be a top 3 linebacker eventually at some point whenever it just all clicks. But that defense isn't getting any younger everywhere else. Kyle Fuller, the number 1 corner, is gone now. So I think they need a quarterback in there. Obviously, they had the hopes for Russell Wilson. That's what they wanted. I wanted that too. I really wanted Russell Wilson to come to Chicago, but I don't know. I don't think their window is there anymore. Andy Dalton and Nick Foles, that quarterback is just not going to work for you. Andy Dalton had a couple okay seasons, but he's not the guy to carry you to a deep playoff run. Unless they're able to draft a quarterback next year who's just instantly good when he comes in and they add some more pieces to that defense, I don't think they have a chance. I think it's going to be a rebuilding phase eventually. They're going to draft a new quarterback, a defense. Everybody's either going to leave or retire because they're just getting older. They're not as good as they were the past few years. They can't do everything for the Bears the way they have been. So I think their window's closed.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I know everybody always says don't listen to, the big media personalities because, they have stories that they're just trying to drive. But I was listening to Colin Cowherd, and I kind of agreed with him on this. I didn't mind the Andy Dalton thing at first, because I feel like people forget his time in Cincinnati. Like, he really was not bad. Like, he was pretty solid, quarterback during that time. But for the Bears offense, he's a terrible fit.
Yeah.
In a weird way, and I don't think Mitch Trubisky is good at all. I think a lot of people kind of understand at this point that Trubisky is not very good. But for the Bears offense, it might have been their best fit. Somebody Who's a little mobile, who's not, a statue back there, just chilling in the pocket. Because, their O-line's decent. It's not, I don't think it's the worst in the league. It's not on, Seahawk, Cincinnati level, but it's obviously not, the Cowboys from a few years ago as well. So Mitch could go out there and make a few plays with his legs, and you're not going to really see that from Andy Dalton. And so when the signing first came down, I didn't mind it. I look at it now and I question it a little bit more than I did before. So can the defense carry it? I mean, it's possible. I mean, they're still pretty good. They're not all of a sudden going to be a low-end defense. They still got Khalil Mack over there. I believe they still have Akeem Hicks. So, I mean, they definitely have some playmakers over on that side of the football. It really comes down to how well Andy Dalton can play because, if he can, kind of throw back to his Cincinnati days and can still contribute to a team like that, then they have a very good chance of being competitive and doing pretty good things. But, the Andy Dalton that we saw in Dallas last year, I'm not very confident in because I think, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong here. I don't think I am, Josh, but if I am, correct me. Dallas had more weapons than the Bears had, and he was struggling over there. So I don't know if he can throw, somewhere in the 25 to 28 touchdown range, I'll be nice and say 12 turnovers or 12 interceptions. That's a solid season. I would gladly take that from somebody like Andy Dalton.
Yeah, I don't see him being able to do that. Like you said, overall, I think Mitch Trubisky right now in his career is better than Andy Dalton is right now in his career. I would just take Mitch over Andy. And they could have had Andy Dalton last year, but then they traded for Nick Foles. And now they still have Nick Foles, but they signed Andy Dalton. You're paying these two quarterbacks a ton of money to be the worst position on your team. I think they could have gone after Alex Smith. I think he is much better for the Bears. He's much more controlling of the game, would be able to control that clock and give defense the time off the field that they need to get ready to go back out there. Jacoby Brissett would have been a better signing. There were just so many other options out there that I thought they should have gone with. And Andy Dalton, the second the Seahawks were no, they're all right, Andy Dalton, we want you. It's you could have done something so much better.
Bro, I said this on the Hard Count Tuesday. Imagine saying yo, you're going to get $100,000 right now. And then somebody 5 seconds later was you know what? Never mind. Here's 5 cents. That's what the Bears did. The worst thing in a way was the report coming out that they were in on Russ.
Yeah,
that has to be so disheartening. You were that close from Russell Wilson, Allen Robinson, David Montgomery, trio would have been very solid. They probably would have lost a few starters on the defensive side because I believe they offered 3 first-round picks and maybe a third and 2 starters. So they were giving up a lot. Don't get me wrong. So
they threw what they had to. It's just the Seahawks didn't take it.
They tried it.
I wanted because Russ on that team, they're a Super Bowl team. With that defense, would be motivated. With the real quarterback, Allen Robinson would be the happiest human on earth. I wanted it so bad.
And like you said, they're now you see the casualties from what they did last season,
Yeah.
where they trade for Nick Foles, and now they had to sign Dalton. So now you're putting all that money into your quarterback position, which, like you said, is still the worst part of your team by far.
Right.
And now you have to let somebody like oh gosh, I just lost his name, the corner.
Oh, Kyle Fuller.
Yeah, all right. See, I had Kyle Fuller, but I, for some reason, absolutely thought it was wrong. But now you have to let somebody like Kyle Fuller go. So they really did everything like in a weird way. Like they almost pulled the Cowboys, but the Cowboys somehow made it work. And of course, the Bears didn't. Like the Cowboys paid everybody but Dak, and they still ended up paying Dak somehow. So it worked out for them. To me, it's like the Bears, they have Mac. They got Robinson, the franchise tag. They did all these things, and then all of a sudden you're spending all this money on Nick Foles and Andy Dalton.
Yeah, it's just even you don't get Russ. Try trading up in the draft. Take one of the Dolphins picks. Get a young guy, not Andy Dalton. Just why? You already have Nick Foles. You want a crappy quarterback that you're going to overpay. You already got one.
Like at that point, sign some nobody backup quarterback. Like
go get Josh Rosen.
Bring this man Josh McCown out of retirement and just get him. Why not?
Yeah. Go get Josh Rosen. Give him a shot. Like something, bro.
Anything
Vince
with
Young,
Dalton.
Jamarcus Russell. Go get those guys.
That's a tough one. But we'll move on from there. We had some wide receiver movement finally with this NFL free agency. Will Fuller headed over to Miami. The big splash that's been made so far is Kenny Golladay going to the Giants. I think this is a fairly simple question, but I'll throw it out there for the listeners and for you. Do you have one signing that you like more?
I like the Golladay signing much more. I think the Will Fuller to Miami is huge, especially if, Tua needs weapons if he's going to succeed. We saw that at Alabama. He needs a lot of talent around him to be good. I think Devontae Parker is a good receiver. I think they're probably going to draft Jamar Chase or Waddle, whoever's available, maybe Devontae Smith, and then you add Fuller to that. I think they'll have a nice trio over there. And Gesicki's one of the best tight ends in the league, so they got a good thing going over there. I love that signing, but Golladay to the Giants is huge because they already have a really good defense, and then they have Sterling Shepard on the outside. And now you add Kenny Golladay to that, who's one of the most underrated receivers in the league. But he got Darius Slayton too. They got a good offense over there, and I think that's huge because it's the same thing with Tua. I think with Daniel Jones, I think he needs talent around him. They'll get Saquon back. They'll have those three wide receivers. Hopefully Evan Ingram, uses some stickum on his hands this year so he can actually catch some balls. He cost me so much money taking his over on catches, man. I hate that, man. But I think that offense is going to be nice this year, especially if Daniel Jones can improve a little bit.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. I don't even think it's close, honestly. Galladay's just a better wide receiver in many ways to me. And the thing that loses me with the Will Fuller signing and everything, it's not, some people don't like the fit because Tua doesn't really push the ball down the field and things like that. I just wouldn't sign him for that much money because he's injured all the time. Right. We had the argument, in the football chat, I believe a couple days ago, where, was Aguilar and Fuller are basically the same signing. And I'm not the biggest fan of Aguilar. Like I said that when the Patriots signed him, is it an upgrade from any wide receiver we had? I mean, yeah, but that's also not very difficult. It's like being skinnier than me. It's not that hard, I promise you. But Fuller is, I said, 4 games in, you're going to have a hamstring injury. It's almost like the John Ross situation, except Will Fuller's better. I mean, John Ross, I feel like, has never been on the field since he got drafted, like ever.
No.
So it is, obviously still a different situation, but Galladay's better. You mentioned the offense. They poured draft capital into their offense. I'm not sure if Nate Solder is coming back to the Giants. I know he sat out last season because of Corona. I believe he had cancer, and I think his son did at one point as well. So obviously you understand him sitting out. But you now have, like you said, Golladay. You have Darius Slayton. You have Sterling Shepard. They also signed Kyle Rudolph. You also have Evan Ingram. So now you have a nice little 2 tight end, situation going on there. And then obviously the biggest one is Saquon Barkley coming back from the ACL injury. So this is kind of do or die situation for Daniel Jones, in my opinion. I know that rookie contracts are 5 years, but it's usually after the third year you see that they try to move on or they try to extend you. So this is kind of the make or break time for Daniel Jones. He has to stop with the turnovers, the more of the fumbles, honestly, than the interceptions. But, he's looked good in some situations. He's looked really bad in other situations. But, their defense is pretty solid. The offense obviously has a lot of talent now. And, we still obviously haven't even gotten to the draft. So if they can draft correctly too, this team can be very good. Now, where do you rank them in the NFC East is a whole different story because, those games are always competitive, no matter what it seems like, even when
say they're third.
See, that's where I put them too.
Yeah.
I had my one friend is a Giants fan, talking about the playoffs. And then, we'll add this into, they signed Adoree Jackson, right before we got on, I guess. And then, talking about Super Bowl and things like that. But I think that's him just trying to annoy me. So because let's be real, their defense is not bad. Their defense was not the problem last year. It was the fact that their offense was terrible. And I can attribute that to the fact that at one point Daniel Jones was hurt for a couple of weeks. And I don't even remember who the quarterback was.
Colt McCoy.
Yes. Colt McCoy. So, they weren't in the best, quarterback.
Beat the Seahawks with Colt McCoy, though. That's how good that defense is. That's how good that defense is.
That one was tough. That one was tough to watch. I'm pretty sure I lost a parlay on that.
Same.
But that's a different problem. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. Adoree Jackson obviously gives them more cornerback depth. Let's also be honest about Adoree Jackson, though. He's been in the league a few years, never made a Pro Bowl. He has 2 career interceptions. This is not the second coming of Darrelle Revis by any stretch of the imagination. So, I mean, maybe you can hide him in that defense, though, where he's not up against number 1 wide receivers like he probably was going against him with Tennessee because, he was a high draft pick. I think it was like the 8th pick or something in the draft like that. So he was high up there. So they obviously had the expectations for him. But, so you're putting Dallas and Washington ahead of them.
I think Washington's the best team in the division, Dallas too. And then, because the Eagles are definitely dead last. And then I don't think the Giants are better than the Cowboys because I think Dak is better than Daniel Jones pretty much. And that offense is better. So I'd take Dallas.
See, the only thing that scares me with Dallas, obviously, is the fact that their defense is awful.
Yeah.
Their defense is just not good. It's funny watching Skip Bayless. In the mornings, he's still upset that he said somebody wake up Jerry Jones and tell him that free agency started. So, I know they signed Keanu O'Neal to play safety. So, they're getting some help. He hasn't been healthy the last few years, but when he was very good for the Falcons. They obviously brought Dan Quinn in to be their defensive coordinator now. So, that's when he was at his best with, the Legion of Boom. So maybe that does something. He's not working with the pieces that he had when there was a Legion of Boom there, but maybe now that he doesn't have to focus on the whole show and only has to focus on defense, he becomes, a much better coach. But yeah, I tend to agree with you, honestly. Probably third for the Giants. I think it's up in the air with Washington and Dallas. I think Dallas, obviously has the best. I still think they have the best offense in that division.
I'm so excited for Washington's offense, though. Fitzmagic, Antonio Gibson, Curtis Samuel, and then
Logan Thomas.
Who's the receiver? Terry McLaurin. Terry
McLaurin.
That offense is gonna be fun, bro. It's gonna be fun.
See, it's gonna be fun, but and I know everybody loves Fitzpatrick, bro. But I just wish they had a better quarterback.
Nah, I think it's going to work for them because it's similar to the way Miami was set up, except the offense is better, I'd say. I'd say the weapons are better. I'd say the defense is probably better too.
Oh, yeah.
The defense. So I think Fitzmagic, usually the teams he's been on, he's had to do everything because they're really crappy teams looking for their next quarterback.
I'm trying to think of what year it was. Maybe 2014, 2015 when he was on the Jets with Eric Decker
and Brandon Marshall. Yeah.
I think they both had double-digit touchdowns. They were 10-6.
Made the playoffs and everything.
No, they missed the playoffs.
Oh, they missed?
The last week of the season, they had to win and they lost.
Yeah. But that team was
So
good too. So I mean, I think it's going to happen. I think Washington, Rivera head coach. I think that team's going to be the winner of the division and a tough team in the playoffs.
yeah, and that's the thing where why I don't, well, if I could speak English correctly, which is why I don't put the Giants in the playoffs, is because at max, there's two teams coming out of the NFC East.
And that's because think about it.
And to me, that's stretching it.
And the Bears aren't going to be in it this year. So that leaves, something a little bit open. But Arizona's going to be right up in there. They're going to have a shot at the playoffs. The Rams. Seattle's obviously going to make it again with Russell Wilson. I mean, there's so many other things. The Vikings probably going to get in there before the Giants or even the Cowboys would.
I mean, their only hope in my eyes is the fact that the NFC South is going to be terrible.
Yeah, that's true.
Like the Saints are not going to be good anymore.
If we get unless we get Watson, we're going to finish probably third. I think the Bucs obviously win it. Saints, I think, will still have a shot at the playoffs if Jameis can play average. And then we're going to be third and Falcons probably fourth.
Bro, do you think that Jameis is for sure the starter?
I just what are you going to do with Taysom Hill? You're going to have him throw 30 passes?
No. That's the thing. I genuinely think they think Taysom Hill is good.
Here's
my thing. Don't get me wrong. We have some stupid show where we talk about sports, and Sean Payton and all those people have forgotten more football than I've ever known in my entire life. There is no way you're convincing me that Taysom Hill is a franchise quarterback.
Well,
you're not doing it.
We've seen him have a full game at quarterback, and it was where he battled the Broncos and their quarterback who came off the practice squad. I can't remember. I think it was like Kendall Hilton or something like that. Played quarterback for them for one game. Taysom cannot be your quarterback unless you have the best defense in the league and they allow 12 points a game. That's the only way you're going to win with Taysom.
2000 Ravens defense.
I think Jameis is perfect for it. If anyone's going to get him to his full potential, it's going to be Sean Payton in that offense. You have Alvin Kamara, so you don't have to rely on Jameis. I think if he has an average season, they still make the playoffs. But if you have Taysom at quarterback, they're not making the playoffs.
I think Taysom is going to end up being the starter for like 3 weeks before they realize.
I feel like it'll be a rotation.
But here's the thing, and here's the reason why I also believe it. Like, we can't just somehow forget that when Drew Brees went out, they went to Taysom Hill. Like, they didn't even think about Jameis. He came in to play Taysom Hill's role of like a trick play type of thing.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't even give him an opportunity.
If they're smart, they just go with Jameis the whole season and use Taysom and what Taysom does. But they are going to start Taysom multiple games, give him like 30 passes a game. And honestly, I can't say Taysom's terrible at throwing the ball. I can't say he's great at it, but he's not terrible. I just don't know if he's, you could probably throw it further than Drew Brees did, which is nice, but not as accurately within 20 yards. He's not going to be that guy.
It's I think there's some interesting storylines this NFL season. You obviously have. Listen, and I don't want to get too far into it because we don't know too much about it, but like this Watson situation got real out of pocket real quick.
It's and the timing of it. The timing of it is
like
so
here's my
weird.
thing. Here's my thing. As bad as it sounds, and I might get in trouble for saying this, the first person that came out, and with the way Watson responded to it and the timing of the situation, him saying that they asked for money before going public, I was like, oh, okay, this is a money grab. Like that was my initial thought. I was like, okay, somebody's just being stupid. There's like 20 allegations now.
Yeah, see, it's because it's like you said, the first time it came out, there was the first post that the dude posted, the lawyer, it really didn't say anything about sexual assault. It just said they're suing Watson. They didn't give a story.
And apparently, they asked for like $600,000 to settle before going public and all that. And like Watson came out and was like, oh, I can't wait, for the trial, blah, 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 because I can't wait to prove my innocence. Bro, 20 people? And like the whole situation is so sketchy too. Because like, here's my thing. Apparently the lawyer has like some weird connection to the Texans owner. And I know that it's like a really bad situation. Obviously we saw it with the Me Too movement, and I'm not downplaying, what women go through on a daily basis because it's disgusting. But like we had never heard anything about Watson bad ever, and now it's 20 people.
See, that's where it's weird because it's very tough to imagine Deshaun Watson being the guy like that, but it's also super tough to see 20 women lying about it. That's where it's like, he like one of them has to be telling the truth. Like there can't be 20 people.
Like, you know, they always say
like
where
that.
there's smoke, there's fire. And I mean, right now it's
but the timing of it, bro, it just throws me off. Right in the middle of when he wants out.
See, and here's the thing too. You can't trade for him now.
No, you really can't. You can't.
First of all, why would you? Because say that all of these allegations come out to be true. There's no. See, here's the other thing too, though. All the cases that have been, brought up against him are all civil suits. None of them are criminal.
Yeah.
Which is also a little weird to me.
Yeah.
So I mean, how long does he get suspended if some of these things are true? I know the police are investigating it now. Does it become a criminal charge? Like, you can't trade for him now. You're not going to sit here and tell me. You're not going to sit here and tell me you're trading 3 first-round picks for somebody you don't know if he's going to be able to play.
And if he is able to play ever again, it wouldn't be until like 2022. You would not get him at all this upcoming year because he's probably not going to play. He's obviously, if he's with Houston, he's not going to play. And if these allegations keep going, he's going to be dealing with that. And we all know how Roger Goodell is, how quickly he wants to suspend people. It'll probably be an indefinite suspension, and he'll have to appeal and all that if even one of these are true. And it sucks because it's Watson, man. He's so good and fun to watch. But obviously, if he did something like this, he's got to go. I don't want him on my team. Like I've been going for him this whole time ever since he requested a trade. If this is true, man, I'm good with Teddy. I like Teddy a lot more if this is all true.
Absolutely. But like we said, you got to let the situation play out. Obviously the lawyers are involved. They have police and everything now. So it's, like I said, it went from, to quote Drake, it went from 0 to 100 real quick. I mean, like real quick. So it's going to be interesting. But with that being said, we'll go back, to some, lighthearted topics of where will they go. So, just a couple free agents that we have left. Some of the big names are still out there. One of them being Antonio Brown. I mean, he could go a lot of places, in my opinion, because he could probably still do something on the field. If I'm Brown, there is no chance in hell that I would leave the Bucs. First of all, because I feel like he owes his career to Brady now. Because, I mean, I don't know what team. I mean, but then again, I guess apparently teams were saying that they would have signed him, blah, 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 but the Bucs ended up getting him. So, I mean, I would stay in Tampa. You probably have another chance to repeat. If he doesn't, I don't even know where he would go, though, because I feel like no big name team would want him. Like, is he going to end up going to like Jacksonville? Which, I mean, now that I say it, I kind of like the fit. I don't think he would go to, Indianapolis. I don't think he would go to, somewhere like, obviously he can't come back to the Patriots after everything he said. So it's a weird situation. I think if I'm him, I'm just staying put.
Yeah, I think he'll probably stay put because I think if he leaves, it'll only be because of the money he'll get if he leaves. But I think overall, all of his offers are pretty similar. He'll take whatever the Bucs will give him. But I could see him going to Baltimore. He has that connection with Marquise. He's had a lot. That's been a rumor basically ever since he left Pittsburgh was him going to Baltimore. A team I want to see him on is Green Bay. I just want to see a good receiver opposite of Devontae Adams. I want to see what happens. So I'd love to see him there. But I agree with you. I think he probably winds up back in Tampa because he really does owe the fact that he's still able to play to Tom Brady and the Bucs for getting him right, and he has a ring because of it. So I could see him staying.
Now that I said it, though, I would really love to see him on Jacksonville. A little Trevor Lawrence.
Oh, yeah.
Little who they – Marvin Jones Jr., DJ Chark. Okay, that ain't too bad. James Robinson.
Oh, yeah. That'd be fun.
They signed a running back, too, which didn't make sense to me. Didn't they sign
Carlos Hyde? Was it Carlos Hyde?
Doesn't make any sense. Just like the Raiders signing Kenyon Drake. That might be the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Like, why is Gruden in love with two good running backs? Josh Jacobs is your
Like Josh
workhorse.
Jacobs is nice,
Yeah.
but whatever. Next up, we got the former lockdown man himself. Don't test me with a sorry receiver, Richard Sherman.
Yeah, Carolina, come on over, man. We need help at that position. We'll probably give you a pretty penny. So I think he should come to Carolina. I I don't have any other teams. I want him in Carolina. He's older, obviously. He's not the same Sherman from the LOB, but he's still a quality corner. He didn't play a lot last year, so he's going to come in full strength, fully healthy. And obviously, he's not getting the offers he wants, and we know how quickly Richard Sherman gets a chip on his shoulder. So he'll be hungry, and I want him in Carolina. And I think wherever he goes, though, he's going to have a Pro Bowl type of year.
I wouldn't have said this team before, but they were in on Adoree Jackson, and seeing the money he got, I guess they do have room to sign people. The Eagles, they need help. In the secondary, they need help all over the defensive side of the football. So, I mean, I don't know if he would want to go there. They're obviously, like you said, kind of in the rebuilding phase, but their defense really isn't. Their defense itself isn't terrible. It's like the pieces of it. Because they still have Darius Slay over there. He's, not bad. Their front seven, or I shouldn't say front seven, their front four is very good. They don't even know what linebackers look like, so I assume that they go do that in the draft. So you put Richard Sherman opposite Darius Slay. I mean, maybe, your defense can be pretty solid, hold teams, to fewer points and hope that Jalen Hurts can do something. So I wouldn't mind the Eagles. I think it'd be pretty solid. Or maybe, the Jags go opposite Shaquille Griffin. So, there's some possibilities out there. Next up, we have Jadeveon Clowney, who fell off a cliff, in my opinion. But, Josh, what do you think?
Yeah, I think he's still got a lot of good football left in him. I feel like we haven't seen him play since, 2016. I feel like he's just been gone, injured, just resting. But I kind of want to see him on one of these bad teams. Well, not even that bad anymore. I want to see him on the Giants or the Jets. I think those are two good teams he could go to, be a big help. I really like what the Jets have been doing this offseason. I think they're putting together a nice team. It's just that quarterback situation they got to figure out. Maybe even Jacksonville, too. If he were to go over there, help out that defense. He's an elite pass rusher still. He requires a double team pretty often. So I think – just some team, he wants a payday, though. That's all he's looking for is that payday. And it's what have you proven in the past 3 years? Absolutely nothing. No one even knew you were on the Titans last year, dude. So I think he just needs to take an offer wherever he can go, get some playing time, prove himself. But I'd want to see him on one of the New York teams.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I would lean more the Jets. If I was to pick a New York team, they could definitely use the help. He's just a weird player. I don't know what fits him. He's a good run stopper. But it just seems like he hasn't been on the field recently. I mean, he had trouble staying on the field at the beginning of his career. Then he had those 2 or 3 years alongside JJ Watt where he was pretty solid. And then, obviously back to last year where he couldn't stay on the field again. So he's just so up and down for me that I don't really I can't figure out a good spot, but I don't mind what you said with one of the New York teams. I would lean more the Jets because I think they need help and I think they have the cap space to do it. Listen, you have to spend your money some way. So the Jets really haven't done too much spending. So if they want to, overpay him for, a 1-year deal or something like that, go ahead and do it. But last up, we have everyone's favorite comeback player, Alex Smith. I think that it's going to be a backup role no matter what it is. With that being said, maybe one of those New York teams again. I think the Jets would be a really good fit because I think that they're going to draft another quarterback. I think that, they trade Sam Darnold away. And then you can, kind of be the backup like Alex Smith is, be the backup, help the future quarterback and, obviously get some good accolades on the way out where, everybody thinks that you're a great person, although everybody already thinks he is. That or, I know the 49ers really are not in love with Jimmy G. If they want to end up trading him and then just want to sneak Alex Smith back onto the field for a little bit, I could see that as well.
Yeah, I kind of think he's going to be in a Fitzpatrick kind of McCown type of role where he has a chance to play, but they also have a quarterback they're kind of deciding about. So somewhere like Philly or Denver, I think he goes to Philly. He can compete with Jalen Hurts, and if he's still playing, I'm guessing he's hungry to be on the field. All that time off, he didn't. He didn't go through that amazing recovery just to be on the
Yeah, for
team. I
one
think.
season.
Yeah, I think his mentality is like, hey, I can still play. So I want to see him in somewhere like Philly or Denver. I used to love Drew Lock. I kind of like him now. I don't feel the same way. I feel like he's gotten too comfortable in the pocket. He doesn't look the same, but I think that's where Alex Smith could end up because they have good weapons too, good offense. So I think if he goes somewhere like there, he'll be able to compete and maybe get on the field. And I like seeing Alex Smith on the field. I'm amazed at it every time I see him play.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun to see where he ends up going. So, well, we will find out with all of these people. But obviously, free agency is not over. But we can do this at the moment because I think all the big names, like we said, are pretty much over with. So, Josh, very important question for you: the biggest winner and loser for this offseason, free agency.
I'll start with the winner. I think both New York teams had an excellent year, but I got to give it to your Patriots. I think they put together a playoff team, especially bringing back, former NFL MVP, all-pro quarterback Cam Newton. That was huge. Got him some weapons so he can produce. Johnny Smith is going to be huge. Judon's going to be nice. So I think that, they went from a 7-9 team to they're probably going to be a playoff team if it can all work out. So I'm just glad they spent the money and they spent it wisely. So I think the Pats definitely win. And worst, I want to give it to the Bears, but I don't think I can because they haven't really done anything. So I'm going to go.
That could be a reason because my actual loser might be surprising them if you're going by those standards.
I think I'm going to go with two. I'm going Raiders and Bengals. I think the Raiders because they basically cut or traded their entire offensive line. All they did was sign a running back, lost Nelson Aguilar, Trevor, what's Williams, someone?
Oh, Tyrell Williams.
Tyrell Williams. They lost him. The team just got a lot worse, and the Bengals have not done anything for the O-lineman.
No, they signed an O-lineman.
Who?
Oh, you're going to put me on this. I'm not
going. Was he good? Like, is it just an O-lineman?
No, he's like actually decent. He's not like some throwaway.
All right, well,
signing.
I still just don't think they've done enough for that offense. I still don't think they've done enough overall. Joe Burrow is good now. Like, you already tore up his leg once. You're not going to get that many more opportunities if he gets injured again. So I just don't think they've been as active as they should have been putting together a good squad because the Steelers are not going to be that good this year. The Ravens, they're going to probably be, a playoff team. But that division, they could win that division if they put a good team around Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's an elite quarterback already. We saw how good he was. He carried that team, almost won them a couple games. If they were more active, I think they could be a playoff team, but they didn't do anything. But the Raiders are definitely down there just because they basically cut everybody and signed a running back, and that's John Gruden for you.
Yeah, he does love his running backs. Obviously, I think the easy answer is the winner, of course, is the Pats. We went out there, spent a little more money than I think the Patriots have. I think in the first 2 days of free agency, they spent more money than they did in the last 10 years combined. So to say that Bill went on a little bit of a shopping spree might be an understatement. And then the loser, I know you said you didn't want to give it to a certain team. I can't remember
the
Bears because they haven't really done anything. That's the reason I'm going to give it to the Colts. They actually had a lot of money going into the offseason. I thought that they were going to be big players, in the Galladay sweepstakes or, one of these wide receivers. And they've done – I don't even know if they've signed anybody.
I thought they signed a receiver, but it wasn't a huge signing.
They have done absolutely nothing. And I kind of guess I understand it because they're saying that they're saving this money, for next season or something like that. Because they have to sign all their homegrown talent. I think Quentin Nelson is up for a contract extension. Maybe Darius Leonard as well. People on their team that they've homegrown into some pretty elite talent. So in a way, I can understand them not signing anybody. But come on, you couldn't find a way to be able to sign those players and get somebody in free agency, especially in a year where a lot of these players are definitely not getting the money that they thought they were. So you definitely could have taken advantage of the market now, and then you're so worried about the future, but by the time that comes, the NFL salary cap is going to be through the roof because they just signed that new team deal.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. I just
in 5 years, it's supposed to be like 280 or two like.
No, it'll be in the 300s. No way, because I think it's
that's what they projected.
80 right now.
No. I don't remember. I don't know. I remember I was watching it on the Pat McAfee show, but someone came on like an NFL insider and was talking about like 5 years from now. And it's supposed to be like double whatever it is now in 5 years. So what the teams are going to be able to do then, like the rookies coming in right now, they're going to get their payday in 5 years because the salary cap's going to be so high, dude. It's going to be unfair.
I'm trying to see.
Like the Rams could probably have this roster now and have a lot of salary cap space in 5 years.
You're telling me that the salary cap's only 180?
Yeah, that's what I was saying, because I saw it was supposed to be like 280 in a few years. Yeah.
I definitely thought it was a lot higher than that, as you can tell. But all right. Well, whatever. Either way, the salary cap, if I say like
salary crap.
Bro, I keep saying it wrong. It's really pissing me off. Salary cap is going to be very, very high. So I don't know why they were so worried about this year, but whatever. We will move it on to the NBA, actually. And we're going to start out with a little fake out. I think this is the year of the fake outs, because all of a sudden, this man Blake Griffin can dunk again. I guess he hadn't dunked in, what was it, like a year?
Since 2019 playoffs.
Yeah, hadn't dunked since 2019. So, of course, the question has to come. Was he pulling a Harden? Was he dogging it?
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. I mean, for people to think really Blake Griffin went from being this 25-8 type of monster athlete guy, and then just all of a sudden one season he was just, I'm old. This was a year my knees went bad. I'm done. It's insane. He didn't want to be in Detroit, and he knew if he got traded, none of the contenders could take his contract because it was a huge monster contract that the Clippers gave him. No contenders could take it. So he's like, you know what? I'm a coast, get paid, then I'm going to get cut, and I'm going to go to whoever's about to win this ring. And he goes to Brooklyn, and his first points are a dunk. And it's like, you guys really thought this man – because it's funny because after he dunked and he was running back, he was laughing. Like, he knows. Like, he was just playing. And he doesn't even have to be, like, the main guy on this team either. He's the fourth option. He's the fourth option. He's going to be great for them.
I'll be real. I might put him behind Joe Harris.
Oh, Joe Harris will get way more shots, but because Joe Harris, I mean, one of the best shooters in the league, and when you got Kyrie, Harden, and KD, they're going to get double teamed, so Joe Harris just got to spot up. But Blake Griffin's going to be great for them come playoff time. And he definitely faked his way out of Detroit, and I love it. I love it because a lot of players don't do that, and it's working out perfectly for Blake because he got his money, and now he's on the best team in the league.
Bro, I think that this is the new wave. You want to know why?
Yeah.
I feel like everybody realized that they're going to make themselves look bad if they pull an Anthony Davis, right?
Right.
So instead of pulling an Anthony Davis and like, yeah, I want to trade, I want to get out of here, they're just going to be like, you know what? I suck now. Like, I'm just bad now, bro. Like, I'm sorry. Like, the age really got to me. I got arthritis in my knees now, everything like that. And then, they're going to put a fat suit on like James Harden. And then all of a sudden, they're going to get traded to whatever team they want. They're going to get bought out in Blake Griffin's case. And bam. Not go back to the level that they used to be. Because obviously Blake Griffin ain't going back to Lob City Blake Griffin where he was jumping over the car in the slam dunk contest. But I mean, he didn't dunk. He couldn't dunk anymore, really.
Right. The fact that people actually believe
Blake Griffin's like what?
He's like 6'10", and he's a monster athlete. Like, he can dunk. He's not trying. Like, he's just not trying.
Like, bro, Dirk could still dunk in the last year of his career.
Yeah, he dunked in the All-Star game.
Didn't he do it? Yeah, I was going to say, in the All-Star game, he dunked. Like, we're going to sit here and act like one of the highest flyers in the NBA for a couple of years, just all of a sudden lost the ability to dunk.
And he was averaging like 22, like in 2019, the last time he dunked. And then this past season, like
Oh, he looked
before
at
it
that
got
team around
canceled.
him and said, "There is literally no point in being here."
They turned Andre Drummond, Blake Griffin, and Tobias Harris into a second round pick. That's what they got for
Now
all
that's
three of them.
business.
That is sad, man.
I didn't even know about Tobias Harris. He was on that team.
Yeah, he was on there in 2018, I think, and then he didn't get traded or anything. He just signed with Philly in the offseason, got a bag.
Oh, to be a Detroit fan,
Yeah.
the Tigers are terrible. The
You got
Pistons.
Jared Goff.
Oh,
That's
there's
tough,
just some
man.
bad places to be fans right now.
Yeah, that's tough.
Like New
That's
York
tough.
has been bad. Unless you're a Yankee fan like me, I'm living my best life. I could care less.
Yeah.
But I mean, the Mets have been terrible.
Houston is going through
Oh
it.
no, Houston's going through it.
Yeah.
Like what are they on a 20-game losing streak now?
Yes, man. Yes, I feel bad for the head coach and some of those players. I mean, they've had a tough year, bro, but they suck.
See,
I
like
mean,
here's the thing. I need them to start winning a little bit.
yes,
Bro. I said this on the last episode, and you said not to worry about it. I'm a little scared that they're going to get that top five.
listen. Even if they are, it's all about the lottery. It's all about the balls that fall, man. Listen, Minnesota's going to be terrible. Detroit's going to be terrible. It's going to be probably them and Houston for the top 3 pick. All we need is 2 teams to jump. We just need the Cavs and like the Warriors or whoever's really bad also to jump
Us, the Thunder.
Oh, well, we're not going to because we're winning a little bit. So we're probably going to be like,
listen, I know that people don't like it. Call the military and get that tank out.
because Sam Presti can't tank even if he tried, bro. He just gets
Sam,
good assets on accident.
Oh man, you're telling me Shy got a foot injury?
Out for
Son of a
year.
Lou Dort, his back's acting up.
Man.
Damn.
Shea, Horford, like all of our starters but Dort were out the other day, and we still won a game.
All right, that can happen a few times.
Well, I think we beat Houston too. I think it was Houston.
I think me and you could beat Houston right now.
I think they have a chance. I think we might get it.
Listen, we better. We didn't trade all these players for hopes.
No,
But you know, something that people are hoping for is for LeBron to come back all strong and healthy again. But he is apparently going to be out for an extended period of time. What was that?
Nothing, man.
No, I need to hear that.
No, I just said, what's wrong with you, man? Like, why do you hate? What's your thing against LeBron?
Oh, I didn't even say nothing. I said
you were just talking about him so sarcastically, you couldn't even hide it, bro.
Well, first of all, his little quote that he came out with when he got hurt, it's like, "Oh yeah, I'll be back, better than ever." It's not bro. It's a sprained ankle. It's a high ankle sprain. You didn't tear your ACL, bro.
So what?
Shut up. That's so what?
He can't say he's going to come back. He can't motivate himself. He can't get hyped about a comeback. About him and AD coming back at the same time. You ever had a high ankle sprain, Connie?
Do I look like I have high
bitches hurt. Them bitches hurt, bro.
All right, but he ain't tear. If Klay Thompson want to put this out after a second straight year of tearing something, I respect it.
I respect it regardless, man. I think he's going to take off more time than he needs, obviously, because they don't need him because they're not good right now. Like they're just their 3rd seed, and they're going to just fall, and then AD and him are going to come back.
How far do you think they've fallen?
Denver, Portland, San Antonio, and a few other teams are like within 5 games, and there's still a lot of season left. Kuzma and Schroeder are the 2 guys for LA right now until the come playoffs probably. I think they fall to at least 5th. I think Portland and Denver definitely pass them because LeBron's out for 3 weeks minimum. Like that's what the timetable is. So in the next 3 weeks, I definitely think Portland and Denver catch him. San Antonio could possibly catch him. I mean, they're going to fall, but I don't think seeding really matters for them. I hope they fall to the 8 seed and we get them versus the Jazz first round, because then we get to really see if the Jazz are legit, and that'd be a fun first round series. We don't got to wait until the second round for that. But
so refresh my memory here: is the 8, 9, and 10 seed doing that playing game again?
You got to be like within either 2 games. I think it's 2 games, and then I think they even include the 7th seed. I could be wrong with that. If like the 9 and 10 are both like with the same record and are within 2 games of the last 2 seeds, I think it's like 2 games for the play-in, something like that. But Warriors are going to be in that play-in too. They're going to be right up there for it.
Well, a little Steph Curry in the play-in.
Oh yeah.
Let me tell you something. You know, the NFL added that little extra wild card team, so now we get more. The NBA won though, because those play-in games, especially in the bubble,
NBA always
obviously we haven't seen it. We haven't seen anything outside of the bubble when it comes to the play-in games. Bro, those play-in games were fantastic.
Adam Silver is the best commissioner in sports, and it's not close. He's amazing at everything. Like he does everything right. I mean, the bubble worked perfectly. They haven't had a lot of COVID outbreaks this year.
You know what? I still refuse to give Silver the credit for that bubble because the NHL did it first, bro.
But it's
like it was
NHL did it. They did do it first, but still, it's impressive if you can pull it off.
No, it's impressive no matter what. But you know, I feel like the NHL commissioner obviously doesn't get love, and rightfully so, because hockey's clearly the fourth sport out of the 4 majors. But I mean, I like to throw a little love over to the hockey side every once in a while.
They deserve it. He's definitely. I mean, it's him or Silver for the best commissioner.
Oh no, I think if like you rank it, it's like it's Silver and then him, and then like a Grand Canyon.
Because also with Silver, I mean, all the other stuff he's dealt with when Donald Sterling and all that racism stuff, he did not hesitate to get that man away from the league and ban him. So I think he's just really efficient and smart about it.
Yeah, like the NHL has done good. I mean, when they expanded into Vegas, I think their first game was like a week after the Vegas shootings, and you know they had the whole ceremony for everybody, and like you can obviously come up with that on the spot. So the NHL is very good in that certain way too. Like I said, I think it's Silver, him, and then like the Grand Canyon, and then I'd probably
Goodell, and then like the depths of the ocean, and then Manfred.
Yeah, Manfred.
That video of him drunk is just so
like Manfred. So you're really like you make it so hard to defend baseball. Like it really is, because like everybody was in love with pitchers not hitting anymore, DH in the NL and everything like that. He said, "Nah, we're not doing that." He said, "You know, I don't think so."
This is like, his villain origin story. This is how it starts. Bro.
Like all of a sudden, he's gonna rip his face off and it's gonna be the Joker or something. Like, please, I'm begging you. Come on, Manfred. I'm rooting for you. I liked you when you first got into office. You're killing me. I said into office like a political person or whatever. Speaking of things going bad, LaMelo Ball. Great rookie season, but he is now done for the season. He fractured something in his hand or wrist, something in that area. He is done for the year. It sucks because he was definitely on his way to do a Rookie of the Year. I don't think he wins it now. I think they're going to give it to Anthony Edwards. But, you know, what were your thoughts on LaMelo's rookie season? Although I know we did have a little discussion about this last week where, were you here? Really? Was it this show?
Was I here? Yes.
I didn't remember if it was it, bro. You got to give me some slack.
It was this show.
The shows get mixed up. I barely even know if you know what time it is right now. Like I don't even know what's going on. You're lucky I'm here. But I know how you feel about LaMelo. But how do you think about his rookie season? Going forward and everything.
Yeah, I was really impressed with him. Obviously, all the questions surrounding him were how would his game translate to the NBA because he's been playing professionally since he was 16. But I was impressed. The Hornets can be a playoff team still even without him. I think they have a really good roster around them. I'd like to see them get a center. I don't like Cody Zeller. I never have liked Cody Zeller or Bismack Biyombo. I don't think they're really the best centers.
For a year.
But I think they have a good team around them. I can't give him all the credit for the turnaround. Obviously, Gordon Hayward coming in was huge. Scary Terry's crazy games he had at the beginning of the season to get them a good start was huge. Devontae Graham, PJ Washington. They have a good roster over there, but LaMelo is going to be the point guard, the facilitator of that offense, the leader for them. So I was impressed with him. I thought he did a lot of good things. He came out recently and said he calls Michael Jordan Unc, so that's good too. He's got a good relationship with Jordan, which we all watched The Last Dance. We know how tough it is to to get a relationship with Jordan like that. So
And I took it personally, if you know.
yeah, he took it personally.
All right, see, actually, now that we're talking about MJ and Melo and everything right now, too, this is another reason LeBron annoys me. That LaMelo said he doesn't look up to LeBron like Lonzo does, and then LeBron immediately posts a picture of him dunking with LaMelo in the background. You're telling me that was a coincidence?
Stop, bro. Stop.
That's
all
so
LaMelo.
petty.
All the media
petty.
tried. The media tried to get LaMelo to fanboy over LeBron, and he didn't. No one should. If you're competing against him, you shouldn't fanboy over him. But it doesn't matter. LeBron posted the pic. He's like, "Yeah, I bodied you, bro. You don't want to be."
Oh, didn't even body him though. He was
bodied him in the game. In the game, it was in the game overall. Okay,
Congrats,
he said,
"Bro,
oh my god, they're a playoff team. They're like the 6th seed
in the East."
Still, bro, it's okay. I don't know
like
what your problem is with LeBron. LeBron can't breathe without you thinking he's being self-centered.
It's
and
not
cocky.
true. It's not true.
For real, that's everybody.
No.
LeBron does one thing.
No.
LeBron hypes himself up after injuring his ankle, and everyone's like, wow, can you stop being so annoying? Dude, it's not like you lost your legs. Like, people want him to get shot in order to post, like, coming back stronger. Like,
I would respect
it. Oh, my. You can't do nothing right.
All right. If I ever lose my voice, I'm going on Twitter. Yo, the comeback is about to go crazy.
Stop.
I'm out.
You need to. I want you to go sprain your ankle. Like, seriously sprain it. Not just twist it. And tell me, like, is that going to be something tough to deal with for the next month? Because then it's a little bit of a comeback. Stop, bro.
I'm telling you, if I ever lose my voice, I'm going on Twitter, both accounts, my personal and the Gen Z one.
No, I'm not. You're not putting it on Gen Z, bro.
Back better go crazy, bro. Like, I can't believe I'm out for a little bit, but, just give me 2 weeks. I'm going to drink some tea and I'll be back. That's what I'm doing.
There are no guidelines to what is a comeback and what's not. Not everyone has to have the Alex Smith situation to come back. Nah. Quit hating, man. Appreciate the greatness.
I don't care what you say. If anybody did this, I would have said the same thing.
Appreciate the greatness, man.
Actually, I have a story about that, but I can't say it. So I'll tell you after. But I have proof that I would.
All right.
But what were we even doing? I forgot. Oh, LaMelo. Yeah, but continue on. You love LaMelo more than life itself, right?
No. I was just saying. I think he's. Obviously, we all know how his potential can be with his size and already a skill set. I think this team is really good for him too, though. It's a really young and talented team still. Gordon Hayward he doesn't have to be some amazing player for them either. No one does on this team. They just all got to play their role, and they've done that well this year. So they might fall out of the playoffs, with LaMelo being gone, but I think the ceiling for them is really high. I like their coach too.
That the ceiling is the roof?
I said the ceiling is really high.
Oh, would you say, though, that the ceiling is the roof?
No.
It's a Michael Jordan quote. You don't remember that?
No, I don't listen to that bum. What he's coming about? What about when Mike said, "I'm back" after not playing? Were you like, "Oh my God, what comeback"?
Not a comeback. He was just saying he was back.
I bet if you were alive. I bet if you were.
I also wasn't alive.
No, I just realized that.
Man, acting like I was, 30 years old at the bar when I got the fax machine.
Yeah, bro. You got that Benjamin Button disease, bro. But no.
Yeah, well, 85 guys. I think it's good.
Yeah, I'm really excited for his future, though. I think he would have ran away with Rookie of the Year, but Anthony Edwards is definitely going to get it this year. He dropped 42 the other night. That kid's special too. He's going to be a beast. I hate when I call them kids just because I listen to Cowherd and Skip Bayless and all them, and they call them kids. Like, bro, these dudes are either like older or the same age as me.
Oh, they're younger now. Like, isn't LaMelo?
Yeah. Taylor Horton Tucker's younger than me. I think LaMelo's around the same age.
That was like the moment I realized I was getting older when Zion came out and he was the same age as me. Yeah. And I was like, bro. Like, I used to always look at athletes and be like, "Oh yeah, they're older than me. Like, that's so cool." And I was like,
Anthony Edwards is still 19, and that man just dropped 42.
He's still 19.
He's still 19. I think he's the second youngest
in a month.
Yeah, I think he's the second youngest to drop 40 in the game. Behind, can you just take a guess who number one is?
Was it LeBron James?
It's LeBron James.
Well, yeah, I would hope so. He came out of high school.
So
Nobody has the possibility to beat him.
there have been a lot of players that have come out of high school before LeBron and a few after.
Okay, but I'm saying at the moment, nobody has the chance to beat him.
LeBron didn't do it until he was 19. LeBron didn't do it until he was 19.
Well, you know what he should have done when he was 18, that bump.
Shut up.
But yeah, LaMelo's been pretty solid, obviously. Like you said, helped turn that team around. Obviously, Gordon Hayward did as well. Maybe Michael Jordan is finally figuring out a way to build a team. He's been like the worst owner when it comes to draft picks and everything like that. So maybe he's finally finding out his way. Maybe he's letting the basketball people do that and just let him sit back and smoke a cigar on the sideline. And we're all good. Because who's going to tell MJ to stop? But
I will tell that.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you would. And you would pull up to him with your LeBron hyper dunks and be like, hey, Michael, there's no smoking in the stadium.
I would pull up with his shoes on, like some Air Force Ones on, and then I'd like take them off, throw them in the garbage, and put on some LeBron shirts.
Like I mentioned, I'm going out after this, bro. I'm trying to figure out which Jordans I should wear, bro. I might have to.
If you got 11s, wear them. You got the Concords?
I got.
Oh yeah.
But I was thinking about going with these bad boys right here.
Oh yeah, those are the 11s. I love those, bro. You got rock those.
You could also go with these.
Oh, those are clean.
Oh, not the what might be my personal favorite, little UNC.
Oh yeah. Those are the way to go. Those are the classics.
Tough.
Yeah.
That was just a subtle flex in my shoe game for everybody out there, but no big deal. If you're listening to the pod, you didn't get to see it. Make sure you go check out the YouTube channel. It's at the hour and 6 minute mark of the YouTube video, so make sure you go check it out. But yeah, LaMelo's been nice. Final thing for the NBA: do the 76ers trade for Mr. Kyle Lowry?
Absolutely. If you don't have to give up Tobias Harris. Tobias Harris has been the second best player on that team. I don't care that Ben Simmons gets all this credit or whatever. Tobias Harris is having an all-star season. He's an absolute monster for them. No Joel. I think they need someone like Kyle Lowry with championship experience. Danny Green has championship experience, but it's like Danny Green championship experience. He missed so many huge shots in the playoffs last year. I think they ship him. I think they ship Steph Curry and get Kyle Lowry. And
Steph Curry? I didn't know he was on the Raptors.
Seth Curry. Seth Curry.
You said Steph, though.
You shut up. So I think they can put together a package. Maybe they have to throw in Tyrese Maxey too, who's a rookie. But if you can get a player like Lowry with the way Joel's playing, and hopefully I hope he comes back. I don't know if you hate on him for also putting out a better comeback. So.
I didn't see it, so I would.
Well, he said it, but it was only a hyperextended knee, so no limbs lost. It's no big deal.
Exactly. Shut up.
But
unless
I do
it's
think
torn ACL, Achilles, or fractured bone, I don't want to hear
it. Have you even ever had a paper cut? I feel like you have never had.
I have, because I got a paper cut one time under my nail.
Oh, that's tough though. That is tough.
Bro, actually, another time it wasn't even a paper cut. I was opening. And this is how you know I'm fat. I was opening my hot wings that I bought one day. And those metal containers where you fold over the sides over the plastic. I usually used to run my finger around it. And I did it and I cut my finger. Bro, probably a top 5 pain I've ever experienced.
That's tough, bro.
I flipped my four-wheeler in my driveway, landed face down in a rock pile, had a gash of my elbow that deep. And I still think that hurt more.
That is tough, bro. Those cuts.
I've been through it, Josh.
Yeah, I'm really sorry that your hot wings cut. I'm glad you came back, though. I'm glad the comeback was.
No, exactly. The comeback was great. I still powered through it. I ate the hot wings. I got a little sauce in the cut. I still survived.
Survived the infection. Toughed it out.
I didn't think I was going to make it back, honestly. I thought I was a goner for sure.
No, but I do think that the 76ers should make an offer for Kyle Lowry. It's for me watching the Raptors. I've watched them a couple times because I bet against them. Because a couple weeks ago, Siakam, Van Vliet, OG Anunoby were all out due to COVID protocols, and Kyle Lowry was just out there. Norman Powell was doing his thing, but it's just he's frustrated out there because he's later in his career. He couple years ago, won a ring. He doesn't want to go back to being a mediocre team. He's doesn't have time for that. I think Philly throws out an offer. I also think that JJ Redick will wind up being waived by the trade deadline. I think they go get Kyle Lowry, trade for him, and sign JJ Redick back. And that's a team that can compete with the Nets. I don't think they could beat the Nets unless Joel comes back in the exact same form. But I think a lineup of Ben Simmons, Kyle Lowry, JJ Redick, Tobias, and Joel, that can compete with the Nets lineup, especially with the lack of size for the Nets.
I wouldn't mind the trade. I still think that the 76ers problem is their spacing. I don't think anything's going to change, with the Lowry trade either. It's not like he's, some crazy shooter from 3-point range. There's a guy I follow on Instagram. I can't remember his name. He has a basketball podcast as well. And, he sits there and breaks down tape a lot. If I can find it, I'll let everybody know. But he's really good at it. Definitely a great follow if I can actually find it and tell everybody what it is. But he showed a picture, and Ben Simmons is literally just standing there. Like, he doesn't know what to do if he doesn't have the ball, anything like that. Like, that's the problem with the 76ers team. It's not – I don't even think it's talent. I just think it's that
no, it's definitely not.
They have
that's why they need another player that can handle the ball when – because at some point you can't have Ben Simmons on the floor in key need a basket situations. You need a lineup of Kyle Lowry and shooters with Joel. Like Ben Simmons, if he doesn't have the ball in his hand, like you said, his spacing is terrible because he can't go spot up on the 3-point line because he won't shoot it, and he can't go post up because Joel and Tobias are already down in the paint. So he just has nothing to do out there. I don't know.
Bro, I'm so determined to try and find who this person is on IG right now. Because, it is actually, a very interesting follow. And it's kind of pissing me off that I can't find it right now. Okay. But you know what? I'm going to find it one of these days, and I'm going to tweet it out on the account and let everybody know. But, yeah, I don't know. We'll figure out. The trade deadline is nearing. I don't know when exactly it is, but it is definitely coming up soon. So we'll see how everything goes with that. Quickly, just some MLB stuff. I know Josh loves this segment of the show. Usually it's his favorite thing. So we are going to go, it's almost time, people. April 1st. That's not, obviously it's not this week. I think, so next week we will be 2 days away or 3 days away because I think the season starts on a Thursday. So we still got a little time to prep all for all of us baseball people out there, Josh included. I know he's a big fan. Go
Cubs, Reds, and Yankees.
Like I say every week, it's going to be a fun season. There's a lot of storylines. The Mets just lost one of their stars, Carlos Carrasco. I believe he's out for, I think 6 weeks. I think he has a slight groin tear. So that, bro. You mentioned the groin and tear and anything, I'm super good on that one. So no, thank you. So that sucks for them because, they aren't the deepest at starting pitcher. When they're all healthy, they're very good, but they're not the deepest team when it comes to starting pitching. The Yankees, this was a while ago, but they lost Zach Britton to an injury as well. So he'll be out the first month of the season, but he'll be back. It's just going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, if you are a baseball fan, though, make sure this Thursday you check out Backstop Banter, because we're doing a little special episode. We're doing a nice little panel with a bunch of people from the baseball department, just going over our predictions for the MLB season. So that will be a lot of fun. But it's almost baseball season, people. And we're going to get Josh to be the biggest fan of baseball ever. And then we're going to do only baseball segments on the show. The look in Josh's face of terror when I said that.
Sounds great. Let's do it.
But that'll do it. Of course, you got to go to the last segment. Stop the cap. Listen, you LeBron lovers and everybody out there. It's not just LeBron, though. I'm telling you.
It is. You have yet to list another player. You said that.
What?
Every time on another. You've never hated on another player, though. You don't.
What other player be doing this?
Doing what? What does LeBron do that is just
Bro,
so aggravating?
You just told me about Joel. Somebody made a post about coming back because they hyperextended their knee or something.
Yeah,
Wasn't that
Joel.
Embiid?
Joel Embiid.
All right, I don't care. Shut up, Joel. You hyperextended your knee. You'll be back in a month. Sit down.
That's my stop
ice
the
your
cap,
knee up.
bro. That's my stop the cap. Coming back from an injury is coming back. It's all about coming back. So if a player wants to hype himself
I'm
up,
excited to get back on the court, but when you're out there saying
LeBron,
comeback's going to be greater than
LeBron, who is having an MVP type of season now, has to run into an injury when they're trying to fight to be a first or second seed. So now he's like, dang, but you know what? The comeback's going to be better. I'm going to come back even better. Why is it so wrong for a player to hype themselves up? You need players. It's like you have Benjamin Button's disease. You have to, because you're not impressed by dunks by LeBron now, but Jordan in a dunk contest, my God. Bro. And then you want these injuries. You want them to take an elbow to the face and lose 7 teeth for them to be like, dang, a comeback. Like belong in that. You belong. Comeback. You're crazy. You are crazy, bro.
No, you guys are all just soft, okay?
You says the guy that his worst injury was on a Hot Wings box. Shut up,
listen,
bro.
That's because I don't do a lot of physical activity, so I don't have to type. I don't have to
so you can't call people soft. You can't call them soft.
No, because listen, if I
Twitter fingers, you're that meme. You're that meme from South Park. You know the South Park.
I know exactly which one you're talking about. I will never
that's you right now. That is you right now.
Oh, it's not because
that is you,
bro. If you think I wouldn't say this to a person, you're out of your mind. Listen, Cam, if you're ever watching the show, you're terrible. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Your MVP season was a fluke, and you can come on the show and I'll say it to him. I'll say it to him. It ain't no problem. When we get famous,
I'm gonna Photoshop that. It's happening.
Josh, we already had Wingo on. When we get even bigger, we can have some athletes on. You know, I will literally not take a special guest on this show until it's Cam Newton, just to make that happen, just so I can tell him to his face that
I can't wait for him to roast you, bro. Just completely.
Bro, he can do whatever he wants.
He's gonna body you.
No.
Then you're gonna apologize. That's gonna be the best part. Is when you apologize.
That's cute, bro. That's cute. Me and apologizing have never had a relationship, and there have definitely been certain times I should have. But listen, he might destroy me, he might roast me, do whatever. But you also cannot say at that moment that I'm Twitter fingers, because I still said it. If you want to come back and make
up fun until then, man. Up until then, you missed your Twitter fingers, bro.
I'm not.
I'm not. Don't complain about an injury or high sprained ankle. Worst injury was paper cut.
Say, like, I'm excited. You know, if he just said simple, you know, I'm excited to come back. Like, this injury sucks, but, you know, I'll be back. Fine. No problem. But, yo, the comeback better be great, bro. Like, I'm going to get in the lab and shut up. Okay. You're milking it now. You're milking it,
man. I can't do this.
All right, fine, guys. I need a new host. Somebody get Josh out of here.
Yeah, come get me, bro. I need a sub. Time out.
Yeah, pull LeBron. Why don't you flop real quick? Anyway, Josh, what do you got for the people before we head on out of here?
Yeah, follow me on Twitter at JoeLynn_4. And as Connie said at the beginning of the show, we got a YouTube channel. Gonna keep posting clips on there. I mean, we might post some pics too, you know, just if we're feeling like it. But we're going to have clips on there. The stream is going to be on there now. We'll be posting the Don LaGreca interview and clips from that as well. So make sure y'all go subscribe. Get your boys up there so, you know, start making a little bit of money on there. Click on those videos. Yeah, help us out a bit, you know.
That's it? That's all you got?
That's all I got, man. Go get some merch, too. Go get some merch.
Yes, go get our merch, people. As for me, oh, wait, you know, I never did the sponsors. I'll do that after. As for me, Anthony Conover _ on Twitter, Gen Z Sports to the Twitter as well. Obviously, the show is Monday at 7 Eastern, every Monday, until I get sick of Josh and we end up having a fight on air and we both get kicked out of, you know, doing podcasts, whatever. Josh coughing right there. He knows he would lose the argument. Tuesdays is the hard count with me and CJ talking everything football, so make sure you go and check that out as well. That's always a good time. And then Thursday, like I said, stop banter. everything baseball, everything in the baseball. Oh God, I choked too.
Oh no.
Everything in the baseball world. Make sure you go check that out. This Thursday, the 25th, we are having a panel with everybody from the baseball department. So go and check that out. Josh will not be there.
I will.
I mean, hey, if you want to join and sit there, you can.
I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna learn.
All right. If you're not there now, the
Thursday?
next show, Thursday, 8:00.
I'm gonna try. You gotta remind me.
Now you're gonna try. Now I gotta.
No, because now you're planning something for it, bro. Like now I don't get to just sit there.
No,
now
I'm
I don't
not.
just get to sit there because you got all excited.
I want you to sit there. I want you to sit there and be like SpongeBob and just soak it all in, soak in all the knowledge.
I'm
I know
gonna
you got
try,
room
but
in that bandana clad.
you're gonna bother me though as I'm trying to learn. You're gonna be that annoying kid in class, bro.
Nah, I'm the host and I'm gonna do a great job like I always do on all my shows.
We'll see, man. We'll see.
But yeah, make sure you go check out everything. Obviously, the YouTube channel, like Josh said, Generational Sports, Twitch, Anthony_Conover. You know, go check your boy out. Drop a subscription real quick. As for the sponsors of the show, make sure you go over to mybookie.ag and use code USN100 to double your first deposit. If you're into the betting world, we always got bets going on, so make sure you go check them out. RxHemp-USN saves you 10% on your entire order. They got the CBD creams over there, so if you're a little sore from a life, make sure you go and check them out. Teespring/store/Unwrapped is for our merch. The network itself of Unwrapped has its merch. We obviously have our merch as well for Generational Sports. We got a nice mask and a beautiful t-shirt, so make sure everybody goes and checks that out. And then finally, the Patreon. We have a $1 tier. I had to think for a second. $1 tier, you're supporting the team. $5, you get entered into a gift card giveaway. You get access to our Discord, and you get 10% off the store I was just talking about. And then the $10 tier, you get everything I said except the $10 or the 10% discount goes to $20, and you get entered into a signed Jordan Montgomery. That's the Yankee pitcher.
Love them, man.
Bro, Jordan Montgomery is fighting for the fifth rotation spot, bro. In the Yankee lineup.
I know that.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do. I was about to say it, but you cut me off.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure. You got entered into a David Montgomery signed jersey giveaway, not Jordan. Maybe Jordan one of these days. But that'll do it for the show. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We will be back next Monday, of course. Deuces.